Oh, what is up, everybody? So, this week I've watched Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and Across the Spiderverse. Two very, very different movies as far as what they aim to accomplish. I watched Guardians of the Galaxy first and loved it. Dude, I loved that movie. I wasn't really going into it expecting much, but towards the end, or about halfway through the movie, I was convinced. I was like, man, I'm really enjoying this. And then at the end, it was great. Perfect ending to a trilogy, the same way that Endgame was a good ending to, their 10-year run at Marvel. I loved it. Loved every bit of it. And Spider-Verse was a little different. So I really enjoyed the first movie. I thought it was really well done. I liked the animation. I liked it more than I thought I would. And that's coming from, I'm a little older than maybe a lot of you watching. I'm in my 30s. I'm not a kid, but I love animation. I think animation is, I heard someone say recently that animation is not a genre. A Western is a genre. Animation is just a way to tell the story. You can have all sorts of different genres within animation, but animation itself is not a genre. You can have adult animation, you can have kid animation, you can have, all sorts of stuff. Hand-drawn, computer animated, superhero stories, comedy stories, serious stories. I mean, the list goes on. And Across the Spider-Verse, I didn't know, I'll admit, I had no idea that it was going to be sequel bait. My problem is if you have a movie that needs to take 4 hours, just make a 4-hour freaking movie. I mean, do something innovative. Come out with, one this month and one next month, or something like that, rather than one this year and one next year. There's so many movies they did that with. Oh, I just heard the other day that, what was it? The Dark Knight was actually supposed to be a 2-part movie, with the end of the first movie being when Joker gets locked up with the fairies and all that. I don't know if the fairy part would have taken place in the next movie, but you get the idea. He gets locked up at the end of the first movie, and then in part 2 he gets out, and him and Batman do their thing for their final hoorah. And the Zack Snyder's Justice League came out, and I remember hearing years ago, before Justice League was, even being made, that it was supposed to be a 2-part movie. And you can see pretty much exactly where they cut the movie off. There's that, right in the middle of the movie, there's that big scene where the whole Justice League, with the exception of Superman, get together and take on Steppenwolf in that little sewer area. That's the climax of the first movie. So, you can see where they would, cut it off at. Same with Across the Spider-Verse. If it was made into one movie, this would have been the halfway point where Miles gets to the, spoiler alert, Miles gets to the wrong universe, and then he spends the second half trying to fix it all and get back to his universe. But instead, we know that that's going to be the end of the second movie. What is he going to fail and not put everything back together? Come on. Let's get real. Of course, we know what's going to happen. Problems with the movie. I thought it was all right. I mean, I don't have a whole lot of problems other than this sequel bait. My problem isn't as much with the movie as it is with everyone's reaction to it. I mean, my God, I can't stand all this pretentious clickbaiting. Oh, it's the best movie of all time. You see, when real creatives get together and put their minds together and blah, 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 it's the best movie ever. The sound goes so perfectly with it. Oh, my God. I mean, dude, it's a neat animated movie, but it's not, Citizen Kane. Citizen Kane was supposed to be one of the best movies of all time, unanimously for years, for generations. I've never seen it, but I guess it's good. I don't know. Across Spider-Verse, though, I mean, it was a good movie. It's worth a watch. But the ending is like hard to see coming. You don't really see that coming unless you know it's sequel bait. Then you know that the end's not going to be the end. You know, I will say that as soon as she said, "Who's Spider-Man?" I went, your husband works with him every day. How would you not know who he is?" I call BS on that. I don't know why they would just, play that off for a gag right then. That's a big ass moment. And then, he's in the wrong universe, so that made more sense. I was glad about that. I was about to be pissed if he was back home and his mom just didn't know who Spider-Man was. Like, what the hell are you talking about? The whole city almost got destroyed and Spider-Man died. Like, she has heard about that, But it made sense being in a new universe. But it's just wasn't all that great. The first one was much better, in my opinion. I mean, visually, it was great. It was really, really cool visuals, with the Vulture in the very beginning being, Da Vinci style concept art penciling. I thought that was really neat. I like the fact that they're exploring other types of animation in each universe. Like the watercolors in Gwen's world compared to the more realistic version in Miles' world. I really enjoyed that. But I don't know, it's just watching Guardians of the Galaxy 3 one day and then the next day watching Across the Spider-Verse, there's just no comparison. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was much better. Like I said, it was a beautiful ending to the trilogy. I was crying for basically the whole last half hour of the movie. Tears were just pouring down my face. I'm a baby when it comes to movies, so that's not really all that impressive, but it was really well done. But yeah, Across the Spider-Verse, just wasn't all that great. It was a good movie, but everyone's saying, "Oh, is this the best superhero movie of all time?" Got to answer for you. No, it's not. The world existed before you were born, kid. Go watch some of those movies. The first Spider-Man didn't make the multiverse popular for everyone. People always loved that shit. They just didn't make movies about it. Get real, kid.